Hey, good afternoon, Shining Light Baptist Church and friends on Facebook. I'm out of town, so Light for the Day is a little late, but I want to come to you with this thought. What about climate change? Or as it used to be called, global warming. That'll be the subject of today's Light for the Day. I saw Facebook had put up when I got on my page, it said, if you're interested in learning more about climate science, click here and so forth. And so I thought about climate science and climate change and all that foolishness. Yes, I said it. There was a thing on the news where they were mocking, the liberal news media was mocking the president when he disagreed with some climate scientist in California about wildfires. Which, by the way, several of them I think were started by people, arsonists. Say, preacher, do you believe in climate change? Yes and no. Yes and no. So what do you mean? If you're asking me, do I believe the rhetoric and the lie, the agenda that's been published around throughout the last decade about climate change, which used to be called global warming? No, I don't believe in global warming or climate change as far as what the world would try to tell us. Because Genesis chapter 9, and I posted this on Facebook yesterday, says that as long as God's in control, and by the way, He is, seed time and harvest, winter and summer, there's going to be the seasons that God ordained and made, and it's going to be around until He says otherwise. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't litter, and I'm not saying we shouldn't do good or right by the environment, but I'm not an environmentalist in that if you don't recycle plastics, you're not right with God. I just don't believe that. But can we do better? Yeah, I'm sure we could. We ought to, like I said, take care of things, be a good steward of things that God gives us. But as long as God's in control, and He is, there's going to be seasons. There's going to be, this earth's going to be around. But I do believe in climate change from a biblical perspective. You see, after the rapture of the church, there's going to be a 7-year tribulation. After that, Jesus is coming back with the church and the Old Testament saints, and He will set up a reign, a 1,000-year reign here on this earth. After that's over, Satan will be released out of the abyss, and he will try one final rebellion. And when God destroys Satan and casts him into the lake of fire for all time, then God's going to destroy this world by fire. 2 Peter chapter 3 says the earth will melt with fervent heat, and every lost person will stand before God at the great white throne judgment, Revelation chapter 20. That is real global warming. And then God is going to make a new heaven and a new earth. And I'll tell you, it's good to be saved. It's good to know where you're going to spend eternity, because don't buy into the climate change that the world offers. You better buy into the climate change that the Bible preaches in 2 Peter chapter 3 and Revelation chapter 20. And one day God's going to make all things new for all eternity. If you're not saved, I encourage you, trust Christ as your Savior today. That's Light for the Day.